Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the segs, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity. Flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gon' end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recap, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, chin. Yeah, send it to the deck. Sell it through the spec. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another OnChain hour, and today's going to be good because we got good numbers. Good CPI numbers came in. I was shocked. I just thought that they were going to come in with these really bad numbers and then send the market down the depths, right? But in reality, what really happened was the number came in 0.2% less. So last month of January, CPI year over year was 3%. And today in March, we got the February report, and it was 2.8. So we're doing okay. Inflation is coming down. The Fed's target is still 2. But I think this is enough for Jerome to kind of consider where the markets are at and how bad they're getting hit. And also maybe go 0.25 for this next week's rate cut. So next Wednesday, Jerome's going to come out and he's going to get we're going to cut rates or keep them the same. And then he's going to come out and he's going to talk. So a lot of times too, even if he doesn't come out and say a rate cut or put out a rate cut, sometimes he'll be dovish enough to send the markets higher. And me and Yago here, we kind of think that Colin Toast Crypto is right with the M2 money supply, right? And with the M2 money supply is like a 10-week lag, and it is shooting up. And normally Bitcoin follows that. So we're actually thinking that, potentially March 25th and further up, April, May, could be really bullish. At this point, right, we're begging for it. We're begging for a bullish market. And not just, obviously we all want to make money, but it's just really low right now. There's nobody paying attention. We're seeing it with so many different analytics, and it's just not fun right now. But we do think the fun's coming back. So if you guys are watching now, you guys are the strong ones. You guys are the strong ones. You guys are here for the long term. Ain't nothing stopping you. If you can get through this, you can get through anything. But without further ado, let's bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up,
man? So, how you feeling about the CPI report and this very low of a market that we're sitting in?
CPI report actually didn't shock me too much. I actually
Yeah.
did expect it to be around even or a little bit lower. So you got to remember, right now the reports that are coming out of their consumers are not spending, they're not buying, and so retailers can't raise the price because it's just going to encourage them to not buy even more, right? So
Yeah.
I think that this was a bit expected. And you can see it in the price. It didn't like shoot up or anything. It actually kind of reversed, and it's at 81.5 right now. But yeah, just right now we're in this lull period of where the market wants to go for this month. A lot of people are aiming for that March 25th date, really when that M2 money supply kicks in, with some possible dovish energy from the Fed, but we shall see, man. Look, we've
Yeah.
been through these ups and downs before. There was a lot of it happening last summer into the early fall, late spring of 2024. And so we've been here before, and we just got to remember that and focus on what we can control, because we can't control where Bitcoin goes right now.
Yeah, 100%. Especially, it does seem that Trump is trying to crash the markets a little bit. And but I mean, who knows, right? You got to kind of break down the house before you rebuild it, and it's very similar. So we might have some hard times ahead of us. I'm really hoping to get bullish. I really am, but I'm just having trouble seeing it. Even unless Trump comes out and cuts it, 0.5, I'm having a hard time seeing that we're gonna be bullish. I mean, I'm somebody who's been bullish the entire time, right? So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that I'm feeling a little bearish right now. But it is something that it's just my problem is I'm just not seeing it on the timeline. There's nobody here, right? So even if people weren't paying, it's going to take a month for people just to even start paying attention again. Like, yeah, numbers can go up, might see 95K, but it might take Bitcoin to hit 115 before people really start paying attention again. That's a long time for me.
When people don't have money, they can't pay attention. They're forced not to pay
Can't
attention,
pay
actually.
attention because they have no money.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they don't have any money, no one's gonna sit there and constantly look at the charts and
Yeah.
research a ton if they don't have capital to deploy into it. They're just not gonna do it. They're gonna find something else in their life in the meantime, like hobby or something like that. And I think that's what we're going through right now. And until that, at least from like the US level flow of capital, or just people having money, right? Globally it's felt, but like right now in the US, I feel like it's felt even more, because that's really where a lot of the activity with our market happens. And so until that gets better, I think we're probably gonna have to, we'll have like the diehards that have their bags packed, and they're gonna be researching still. And that's what I'm doing. I'm researching and trying to learn as much as I can each and every day.
Yeah, 100%. And one big thing people have to understand, it's not just our markets, right? Like the S&P is down today, again today, and it was up 2% at 8:30 this morning, 8:35. It was up 2%, and now it's back down to about a little under flat. So it's pretty crazy. We're at 5,577. We were just at an all-time high, about like 6,200 for the S&P. Yeah, so the Dixie's dropping. The Dixie's, is at 103, and it's everything. It's just everything. This feels like how 2022 felt. Like every single day, it didn't matter what the asset was, crypto or not crypto, it was down. But the only opposite thing was the Dixie DXY, the dollar was up. So this is like the first time I'm seeing everything kind of drop with the Dixie.
It's definitely has like that bearish feeling. I agree with you. It's a different time, but it throws off our industry, because this is not supposed to be happening right now. This is not supposed to happen during this timeline. But again, the pullback with Bitcoin is normal during the bull market year after it thrust up. There's typically a 30% pullback. People are calling up to 35%. So that's normal. I just think the overall everything else, I think in previous bull market years, like Bitcoin might have pulled back 30%, while Ethereum and other stuff still feel energy, energetic. There's positive stuff happening in those areas. That's where the difference is. But look, guys, we're gonna get through this just like we get through everything in life, because we're strong people, right? We know our audience is. And so we'll just got to keep pushing forward and control the things you can control. I know I keep saying that, but that's the one thing that I got to remind myself at least,
Yeah.
because you're going to go crazy, especially if you're in the space every single day. You're constantly checking. I mean, like, we're going crazy because Odin's down right now, right? That's just a little sector of our space, and so yeah, so just control the things that you can control and focus on those things.
100%, you're right. Sitting here, I want to buy Bybit, dog, but I can't because Bob's a stupid site. No, that's what we were doing before the show, guys. We were just yelling at Bob. No, I'm just kidding. We love Bob. But the jobless claims and producer price index set for Thursday, March 13th, which is tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. So we get the jobless claims tomorrow and the PPI year over year. These numbers could shake the markets up as well. Especially, that's the thing. It's hard to, the jobs numbers is a hard thing, right? Because if we go in and we see a ton of jobless claims, people are gonna be like recession, right? But that also opens up for a rate cut. So it's like the jobless claims is so hard to kind of put your finger on and say what is good and what is bad. Job numbers go up is good for rate cut, but it's also bad because everyone's gonna be running around screaming recession.
And I think that's what people are saying in like the traditional markets and analysts and pundits and stuff. They're saying just because if we get a rate cut, that's not good initially, at least, until that rate cut starts to take effect, right? So you get a rate cut and it never happens right away. It takes at least a couple of months, but they're saying that multiple rate cuts will probably have to happen for because you're absolutely right. You have to remember there's this information war that's happening, right? So you have if the jobs numbers, the jobless claims goes up, then you're going to have the mainstream media completely blame a lot of that on the current administration, just like they're doing with like everything, right? And so that's going to make people that are in the markets, the TradFi markets, even Bitcoin, we're seeing it all just kind of melt together right now in terms of what they're responding, how they're responding, and they're not going to respond well, even with rate cuts initially. I truly believe that. But if the M2 money supply does kick in, that could throw another wrench into it. How does that affect with rate cuts and all these things? There's so many variables that could go into what happens the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So the title of the show is what will the Fed do next? Time for QE. If so, crypto could explode. I'm going to force you to be Jerome right now. I want you only thinking about what's best for the U.S. government, right? Or the U.S. country. That's all I want you thinking. What are you doing here? You have all the information in front of you. What are you doing next Wednesday?
Yeah, so I honestly, I'm not sure what I would do because I need more information, because like I can just go off of, inflation, and I can go off of what the corporations are reporting in terms of earnings, all this information. Obviously, like rate cuts is something that I think they're going to have pressure on, but that doesn't mean that he's going to do it. Me personally, like, I don't know. I guess I would probably, get close to trying to make the situation better, at least, like, because a lot of it has to do with sentiment too. We don't realize that, right? So like the Fed can start to change the sentiment a little bit, right? By cutting rates, and then whispers happen, and then say, okay, this is the first rate cut, and we have a couple months afterwards, and then people are saying, okay, another rate cut's coming in next month. The economy's gonna get better, the stock market's gonna get better, all this stuff. That will actually trickle all the way down to the consumer. And we've seen it. We saw it happen in 2023, 2024, when it was negative sentiment. So you can definitely make the positive sentiment a reality in commerce and stuff. So I would probably try to gear towards that, try to lean towards that, but it might not be the first, it might not be next week, it might be the month after, but you got to start somewhere because it takes time, so if you start next week, then you'll probably start seeing something better, or respond to it, I guess, response to it, maybe like 3 to 6 months down the road.
Yeah, 100%. But if I was Jerome though, I'm seeing a war right now. I'm seeing a tariff war. I'm seeing a war, China on Canada, us on Canada, us on Mexico. And when you're in a war, it does benefit the country to cut rates, right? Yeah, obviously we're not fighting anyone physically, but in in the markets, we're taxing the crap out of Canada, and they're taxing it right back. So if I'm Jerome, I have to think about that. I have to think about what's going with this tariffs, and I have to cut rates. I think I have to cut them 0.5. Maybe just to kind of settle things down a little bit for the markets, so the markets aren't dumping with this tariff stuff, right? So I think Jerome should cut rates 0.5. And I still don't think that's going to jump the markets, though, because we got to figure out what's going on with this tariff war. I mean, we're in a war. If you like it or not, it is a war. It's just a global consumer war, really. So
Yeah, I saw something that was really interesting. It was a video, and I got to do further research on it.
yeah,
But the high level that I got from it, and I could be wrong. So if you're listening, then let me know if you know about this topic. But the federal surplus that typically, they're able to calculate, and this is like money that like goes from like U.S. aid and stuff that might
yeah,
not be legitimized all the way and all
yeah,
this stuff. But at the end of the day, they have like a surplus that typically is put back into our markets. So it actually pumps our markets. And what Doge is doing is like they're trying to cut
yeah,
costs and stuff. So we're probably going to skip out on a lot of that extra capital or liquidity that is typically put back into our
yeah.
markets to regenerate everything. And
True.
so that's a scary thing, right? And so I heard about that yesterday. So they're gonna have to use every other tool in their toolbox to really ignite it and get it going. And the Fed is one of the entities that can do that. But I do agree with you in that aspect, is because you don't want the country to look like they don't have any bullets in the chamber,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
if you're able to show some strength a little bit with the economy, then the tariff negotiations are going to work better in your favor, right? And
100%.
there was also an update too from the governor of Ontario, I believe. I think they call them governors up there, but he's flying to DC because he was going to he was going to add the 25%
Yeah.
tariff to the electricity to the U.S. And so what's his name? Lutwig, is that his name? Harold Lutwig, the
Oh,
Secretary
this
of
guy, Commerce Secretary Harold Lutnick.
Lutnick.
Yeah, Lutnick.
Lutnick. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he actually invited him down, and so they're going to be discussing it, and they held off the tariff. So I think the Canada tariff thing could get better. We'll see here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, yep. And to the guy you just mentioned, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says Trump's policies are worth it, even if they trigger a recession. This is a very rich man saying this, right? So he's not going to feel a recession. His portfolio might drop, but he's not going to feel it, right? When rich people say things like this, it's kind of like, I'm in Philly. If there's a recession, it's not going to be good for the bigger cities, right? They're gonna get mollywopped. So people like Howard, he can just go to his house in Malibu for a little while to kind of get away from the recession while everyone else feels it. So I didn't like seeing that. But it's they're basically saying, coming out, that's one thing about this administration. They'll tell you exactly what they're thinking, right? They always come out like, if this is the Biden administration, they wouldn't say any of this stuff. The Commerce Secretary, I don't even know who it was in the Biden administration. Then the person never talked. But you're hearing stuff from the secretaries every single day, and I didn't like this comment, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting, for him to say that. But like it's promising that he's the one who negotiated the meeting. And
Yeah,
so that's promising in my opinion, because at that point, you're basically saying, okay, look, we want to talk, and you're trying to be, trying to get the situation better. And that's the
yeah,
biggest part for
100%.
me, and I'm cool with that. Like I like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. All right, let's jump into some Bitcoin stuff here. So all Bitcoin valuation metrics indicate that we are in a bearish territory, including the Bitcoin bear market cycle indicator, according to Crypto Quant. So let me show you my chart here. So this is the my screen. So this is the Crypto Quant Bitcoin bear market, and every single time it's blue like this, it's a bear market, and it's they're indicating we're in a bear market right now.
yeah.
What do you think about this? The last time we were technically in a bear market, though, was, I mean, this is right before we got bullish, right? In September.
Yeah.
September was 2024. I mean, you've seen what happened later, right? So could we see this again?
We could, but yeah, exactly right. So it's showing that we had similar environments right there. which, towards like the summer and the end of last year, right before it pulled back up. I mean, you're talking about October too, like which had like a good month. So I mean, like I wouldn't
Yeah.
look too much into this, honestly. Like it's just, I think that what they're saying is like the environment, the condition is not ideal. So like many kind of bear market, if you will. But nothing like 2022. Like 2022 was a totally different thing. Officially we were in the bear market during that period. So
Yeah, 100%. All right, the next one is so whales have accumulated more than 65,000 Bitcoin in the last 30 days. So the whales are buying, dude, and they're buying drastically. The guys who hold more than 1,000 Bitcoin have been just accumulating like crazy. So this is the accumulation chart. Obviously, they were accumulating heavy going back to November. Then they stopped. Then they were selling in December, January. And then they really started buying mid-January, but then February they were selling again. But now we're back to them buying. So I don't know. Maybe they got faked out here a little bit, thinking Trump's president, time to start buying again. And then they're like, oh, made a mistake, and now they're back buying again, heavily too. I mean, we haven't seen these accumulations since early January.
Yeah, I think this is really just like the look, we got to be honest here. Like the professionals have entered the realm, right? You're talking about TradFi people, and they know when to get in and get out. And there's going to be a time where they hodl, but they're going to be very, very calculated when they're going to exit, even after Bitcoin gets up higher and higher and stuff like that. So this is what I'm seeing from this. And there's going to be some, obviously there's like really talented crypto whales that have experience too, that kind of lump into that. So the people that have that much power to move markets, they're moving them, but they are buying again now. So that's definitely a bullish thing.
Heavily too. I mean, it's a lot right now. So but jump to the next thing here. This is something I was kind of disappointed with. The SEC has delayed the approval process for the VanEck Spot Sol ETF, the Canary Spot Litecoin ETF, the Canary Spot Sol ETF, Canary Spot. I never heard of Canary, but or Canary Spot XRP ETF, Grayscale Spot XRP, and Grayscale Spot Doge ETF. So they've all been delayed. So what I'm hearing is the SEC doesn't want to pick a winner. And what I mean by that, they don't want to pick VanEck over Canary or Grayscale, right? So they want to get all these in together and then just wait for like a lull period and then pass them all once they stop coming in. But people are projecting that to be potentially in the summer. What do you think about this? The SEC delaying these altcoin ETFs.
I'm surprised you're disappointed in it. Are you disappointed because you feel like that you just want them to get it out of the way, or?
Yeah, it's going to happen, and I just want to get bullish. I just want alt season. Right? I don't care if XRP does really well. I could give a shit. I want my bags to pump. But this will cause immediate buying power of these assets, and the people holding these assets are going to feel very rich, and they're going to get into other assets, potentially the assets that I hold and we hold in this ecosystem, right? So that would benefit us. But you've seen what happened with the Bitcoin ETF, right? So once it was approved, it was just massive upward momentum for Bitcoin only. So I'm thinking potentially we could see an alt season once these get listed on the stock exchange.
Yeah. Look, I'm in the same boat as you. Like this can create like a avalanche effect type of situation, right? Like these are multiple different blue chips and majors, right? So and I'm glad that you've kind of gotten to the point where you're just like, okay, I don't care anymore if they succeed, that's fine. I just want like that's how bad the environment's been, that Shizzy's like rooting for XRP now. So
whoa. I'm rooting for the ETFs get passed. I wasn't so much about rooting for XRP.
I mean, XRP's in there, right? Multiple times too. So but look, I think this is they're probably they're gonna approve these. We know that the SEC's changed their tune and their approach to policing the space. They're obviously gonna stop like being that bully, and so it's just they're probably trying to do it all efficiently. So
good take, 100%. I'm excited for potentially the summer. This could be because this could lead us into the fall. Because what normally happens though, I think Bitcoin was like different, but like normally happens, it takes months when they get approved to get listed. Bitcoin was kind of like already ready. Larry Fink was like, let's go, right? So it was like, I think it was like a month after it got approved. It got approved in December 2023 or December 2020. Yeah, December 2023. And then it was live in January 2023. So, and then, but or was that 2024? Was it the ETF, the Bitcoin ETF?
2020
2024?
the Bitcoin ETF was
Yeah.
January 2024.
Okay, so that's what it was. It was December 2023, January 2024. Okay. So the DeFi Education Fund, which is funded by a lot of these DeFi governance companies, right? So the people who have majority of these coins, they actually fund this DeFi education. Well, anyway, they have a tweet. It says, we have another bipartisan supermajority in the House of Representatives officially disapproving the IRS broker rule that would have negatively impacted DeFi. So DeFi stands for decentralized finance. So the fact that the IRS were trying to, do anything around decentralized websites, decentralized, blockchains or decentralized protocols, was ridiculous in the first place. It was almost impossible for them to do it. It was more just like, Gary kind of being Gary, right? But this is all kind of out of the, it's out there now and it's kind of behind us. But what do you think about this? The House is actually dropping stuff. This is the SEC didn't drop this. The House did, which is crazy.
So to me, I automatically think like who's the people that like want to tax as much as possible. That's our politicians, right? And that's changed, right? Like because they don't want to, they still want to, but there's a group of new administration that's getting away from that. Right. So they're not going to be able to get away with the same stuff that they were previously. And I think they looked at DeFi as they were licking their chops as, oh my God, like how much can we make from this? Right. And now that the approach has completely changed, they have to drop it, right? In a sense. And plus the current administration is crypto friendly. There's a lot of things. I'm so glad this happened because that would have been like the biggest nightmare for companies and projects and stuff like that. So this is a huge win, I believe, for our space. And look, it's tax season right now, right? So like that's the thing is like I'm pretty sure people are having like huge headaches, and imagine like having to do it from like a company perspective, like Uniswap or something like that. That would have been a big headache. But I'm glad this is happening. This is needed to happen. Look, there can be other way to make taxable events that are fair, and this was not one of them.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Oh wow, this should have been okay. So this is kind of continuation of the last headline, but Franklin Templeton files for an XRP ETF, bringing it total to 9 firms. But this is the big thing I saw in this. While major players like BlackRock are still on the sidelines, so BlackRock is not participating in any of these ETFs. They're not pushing a Sol ETF. They're not pushing an XRP as ETF. No, nothing. They're only doing the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Is this a sign, do you think, that BlackRock's not getting involved?
Probably they just want to be more safe, I would imagine. Right. So that's what most people that have that level of management of assets, they're not going to jump into all these things. I think the smaller firms, which we're seeing, Grayscale seems to take more risk because they were the first one to do their Bitcoin. It's not ETF officially. It was their, I forgot what the name was, but it's similar.
Trust.
And so
it's trust.
Exactly, right? So like Grayscale is kind of like that entry level to where they'll try out all these things, but BlackRock's like the end, right? They're like the most safe. And so that's what I get from this.
Yeah, well, to your point, Michael Sonnenschein, he's the top guy at Grayscale. He's been in Bitcoin since like 2012, 2013. He's like, he's been in digital assets for a long time. So for him, this isn't risky anymore. He holds a lot of these bags, right? So I think that's why Grayscale is one of the first companies to kind of push. And Grayscale made their name. I mean, they were nothing until their Bitcoin trust, right? Which was just Barry Silbert buying Bitcoin and locking it up into basically a vault for years and years and years. So. Jump to the next thing here. The final thing before we get into the fear and greed. Binance says we're excited to announce the first ever institutional investment in Binance by MGX AI. So MGX AI, they are a UAE based leader in AI and tech investment, fostering responsible innovation for a tech enhanced future. So this is pretty massive for Binance, who are rumored to be going public in the US potentially in the summer. So they basically brought on MGX, which kind of legitimizes them in the sense of this is one of the biggest players in tech, right? They are in funds like Nvidia and a lot of other tech funds as well. But now they have entered a Binance, their first crypto investment. First major exchange investment. How do you feel about this? Is this good for Binance?
Great for Binance. $2 billion. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's the single largest investment into a crypto company ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for them to do that, and it also can really break down like how involved Binance is getting into AI, because this is for an AI type of thing. We already know that Binance has gotten involvement in terms of Binance Labs investment for a subnet on Tau, right?
Yeah.
So they're definitely positioning themselves for this AI boom that's already happened, but it's going to only grow more and more. I mean, like AI, the reason why I think so many people are bullish that know about AI, and I need to learn more about it, but I think it's because there's no end to it, right? There's no end to
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. It's like each new innovation is going to integrate it. An example would be quantum computers, right? Let's say those become more accessible and more usable. They're going to definitely integrate that into AI, and that's when things can get scary, but also things can get really productive, extremely productive. And so investing in AI, I'm actually really glad that the crypto sector has kind of morphed together, or is
Yeah.
starting to merge with AI, because it tells me that the crypto sector is going to be around for a long time, right? And so that's what makes me really bullish about this announcement, is that people are $2 billion is a huge investment. So congrats to Binance. I know some people are mad at them right now because of the market maker stuff, which is annoying, but this is good for the overall space.
Yeah. It's almost tells me that like Binance could be having a problem, right? They've been selling to Wintermute. We don't know what their problem is, but they've been dumping. They're one of the biggest dumpers in the last month, right? They've been dumping assets. Binance makes a lot of money trading, and a lot of that money stays in crypto. And then when they need that money, they sell that using Wintermute, the market maker. And they've been selling and selling and selling, and it just kind of signals that this right here, this 2 billion investment, was maybe a last resort for them, because why would you want to give up your company, right, before you go public? Because, everyone knows that your company 10-20x is going into a public event, right? So this is weird to me. It almost says that this is plugging up a hole that maybe Binance had, but could stop the dumping from Binance.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because you're right, there could be.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to figure that out though, right? Because we can't
No,
see
we
into
won't. Yeah.
we can't see into their books. Even like the internet sleuths and stuff, like you have like people like Marty Party, which I'll
Yeah.
talk about a lot because he's good at data analysis on chain. But yeah, this could be a situation. If we start to see that stop, like they're not sending as much crypto to Wintermute,
Yeah.
then we kind of know, okay, this is something that they needed more runway for something, which is also scary too, though, because it means that stuff was mismanaged as well.
Yeah. Well, they didn't they have the huge fine in
Yes.
2023 as
Yeah.
well? It was like
$4
massive,
billion,
yeah.
I think.
So this could be, they're probably on something of a payment plan with that. I can't imagine the government's expecting to shovel $4 billion in fines to them right away. But this also could be plugging up that hole. Maybe they've been, the market's being so shitty, they're struggling to pay that fine. And this could be another way to kind of glue that up, that hole as well. So that could be it too. It could have been them just struggling to pay the fines, because it wasn't just the U.S. I mean, they were fined by the EU. They were fined by multiple places that they, they had these exchanges at. So
Exactly. And they were so it came out to a total of 4.3 billion.
yeah,
And it was 1.8 billion that was a fine, and a forfeiture of 2.5 billion. So yeah, that's a lot of money.
yeah. So this kind of comes in and maybe plugs that up. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were just trying to plug up those holes. So, but let's get into today's fear and greed. It is actually looking pretty good. It's still fear, but last week we were at a 20. Yesterday we're at 24. We're like 40% higher, I would say, than yesterday's 24. Where would you say we're at?
32.
We're almost dead on. Sitting at 34. Yeah, man. So this is definitely trending in the right direction. And the markets are getting hit right now. I'm seeing Bitcoin 81,000 on my clock here. But what do you think potentially we are the rest of this week? Do you think we stay in fear?
I think we stay in fear until we get some positive events. Like, for
Yeah,
example, Canada and the US have come to an agreement, those kind of things that rally into like the M2 money supply, rate cut, and the rate cut, like I don't expect it
yeah,
to be a positive event right away. But if there's some other stuff that's on top of that, right? Like the M2 money supply is aggressive in the aspect of bringing up TradFi, and Bitcoin will tell it. And so, that's where I think cutting rates in the beginning could actually, you see something in the beginning as well as if there's stuff piled on top of it. That's
yeah.
what's going to get us out of fear, because that will make the markets more electric and energy. Right now, it's just been so much of like a Debbie Downer type of atmosphere. It's hard to
But
get that out of fear right now.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think we need retail to come in, dude. It's I know I keep saying it, but like, there's nobody here. Like, I don't even need retail. I
We
don't even
need
want to
poor
dump on
we
retail.
need poor people to save poor people. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess we need institutional investors to come buy our bags at this point. But yeah, it is what it is. But let's get into today's Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura Finance. Artura, we had them on the show yesterday. We had Instant, and the update that he gave was absolutely massive. So they have finally picked the L2 Bitcoin chain that they're going to be using, and it's Hemi. We're going to take a deep dive into Hemi, but the first thing that catches your eye is Hemi is backed by who other than Binance. Binance Labs is an investor in Hemi. Hemi is building not only an L2 for Bitcoin, but they're actually doing something with Ethereum as well. So this chain's gonna be a big deal. We're actually in contact with them to have them come on our show, so we can actually really figure out what's going on. These Bitcoin L2s are so many of them, but we got to try to find the best. And Hemi's looking like something that potentially could be an airdrop opportunity as well. So I want our community to get as many airdrop farming as they possibly can. And Hemi and BitPerp, using BitPerp on Hemi, potentially get you 2 airdrops. So guys, be prepared for that. Go to Artura.finance. All you have to do is make a few trades there, and you'll be put in their raffle to earn. And then their paper trading competition on Botonics is going to start. And again, you're using Botonics testnet. It might be a good idea to use other things on that testnet as well. So you guys, if Botonics ever did an airdrop, they have to reward the testnet guys, right? The guys spending time and effort doing that and helping them test their system out before it launches. So definitely check out everything at Artura.finance and check out Botonics and Hemi.
Exactly, and they're actually backed by Binance Labs as well. Hemi is, so that's pretty huge backing there.
Yeah.
But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, as always, I'm going to ask you guys to help us out on the YouTube side. Smash that like for us, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you're turning notifications on so you know when we go live. And then on the X side, guys, we need you guys to share the space so we can educate more people, bring more people into opening an X-First wallet, a Unisat wallet, or teaching them how to get into the space. So help us out there. And on the abstract side, guys, if you could share the stream, but we really, really appreciate your support. But let's get into some Bitcoin price action here, which, honestly is going to be a little bit about, it's going to be very similar to kind of what we've been seeing, right? Like nothing to the upside consistently. Yes, we did see this bottom that happened yesterday, well, I would say 2 days ago, because it was like midnight, and then we ramped all the way back up, and we got up to 84.
Can't see your chart. Sorry.
Uh-oh. There we
There it
go.
goes.
Can you see that? Okay. Sorry
Yep,
about that, guys. But I was saying that we, bottomed out here at midnight yesterday, and then made this kind of, I guess if you want to call it a rally back up to like 84,000, only to kind of drop all the way back down. CPI data was good, but they said we don't care. And that's been the trend, right? That's been what has been consistent is good news equals bad price. And so that is what we have been seeing. So we're kind of hanging around here at 81.5. We are defending that $80,000 price point though. So that's at least a little bit of encouragement here. we never really got back into that like buy pressure on the MACD. And guys, this is the hour chart, by the way. It gives you kind of a 4 to 8 to 12 hour, I would say 8 to 12 hour forecast on possibly what we're going to see for the rest of today. But yeah, we didn't even make it all the way back to overbought, guys. Like it decided it wanted to turn back around. And I think that's, the TradFi guys ringing the bell at 9:30 Eastern, taking us back down here. And it looks like it wants to cross back down over the 20-point mark, which will officially put us back into oversold territory. And you can see here the MACD is not really letting up at all. So this blue indicator line is also starting to curl down. If this goes kind of, vertical here, north-south, then possibly we could see trying to knock on the door of that $80,000 price point, maybe trying to break below it. So that's what I'm seeing for the second half today, guys. Be cautious if you are a positive, if you're a person that can only long, because technically we are in a bull market, like from a timeline perspective, at least from a timeline, from a historic timeline perspective, at least, then I would be very, very careful and say, just check it out from the sideline. That's what I would say. Okay, so that is the hour chart and gives us kind of an insight for the second half of today. The 4-hour chart is giving us a lot of the same. Let me make sure this is on. Oh, well, let's go ahead and change that. That's probably why it gave us a lot of the same. Let's open this up here. Okay, yeah. So the 4-hour chart was actually playing kind of on that buildup that we had. But it looks like it possibly is turning back around. You can see here the weakness of the MACD starting to get weak here, right? And you see this big red candle here. We were kind of peaked out here yesterday evening at 8 p.m. Central at this kind of 100-point mark on the stochastic RSI. Now we're at 85 and heading down. So yeah, I think it's really going to just play into that hour chart, which tells us that it wants to go down a little bit further. Guys, this is not financial advice at all. Do your own research. I'm just giving you what these leading indicators are telling me, and it's telling me that it's not exciting right now. It doesn't want the positive price action. So that's what I'm seeing for the 4-hour chart as well. So if we get that kind of dip down to that $80,000 price point, to where Bitcoin does want to knock on the door of 70K again, or 79K, I should say, sorry. Then the 4-hour chart's going to be nasty, probably heading into the weekend. So that's something just to keep your eye on. And also, I always like to pull up the liquidation chart here provided by Marty Party, which is what he goes by on X. And so you can see here, one thing I noticed right off the bat, I was talking to Shizzy whenever I first pulled this up, was you see here, the long liquidations are starting to build up. Like yesterday, obviously the numbers are a little bit lower because we shifted downwards from being at that 84,000, which, we were at 83.7 yesterday, and got all the way up to that 84 this morning. But now the liquidation levels have shifted down. And this was very sparse the past couple days, the long liquidations, but they're starting to build up. Now, it's not anywhere still, in my opinion, as much as these patches here for the shorts. The orange are going to be the shorts, the blues are going to be the long, right? So that's that. But I'm saying, because these are building up, that people are getting confidence in taking long positions that get them liquidated in these prices. You see this first little patch here starting at that 74, or sorry, that at towards the bottom here. So it's not the first one. The first ones are up there, but let's start here at the bottom, 74.5. That goes all the way down to 74.3. So a $200 gap there. But then you don't have much here. Really, where it kind of starts, I guess, from where we are now, you're going to see that first big kind of cluster start right here at 78.6, and it goes kind of down to 77 here. Yes, there's some liquidations here that they'll probably try to hit, in my opinion, if it does take it down below 80K, but that will start at like 8,400 and then go down to 79.1. So just know that this is building up here. So they might try to grab some of this before they go back up, but once they do go up, they're going to be able to grab a lot of liquidity up here for the shorts and wreck them. So that'll be a glorious day.
Yeah, a nice short squeeze, dude, would be absolutely phenomenal. That would be awesome. Can we get it though?
Agreed.
Do you think we potentially could get a short squeeze up to like 90? We did see it. I mean, we've seen it last week, right? So I mean, it's not like it's rare at this point.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed too is the liquidity area pockets,
Yeah.
they are less than what they were a month ago. It seems like. So the people are, when you're in fear, you're not going to take as much leverage, right? And that's, in my opinion, is a good thing. You gotta kind of flush some of this leverage out, get some of these. I like, I'll catch myself sometimes. I'll be like, what am I doing, right? And you just get caught because, let's be honest, people want the dopamine hit. They're bored right now in our space, and they're going to take stupid leverage plays.
Yeah.
And the more that it gets flushed out, the less that happens. And I'm starting to see it become less and less. But still, you do have the greedy people that feel like that will get hit, and they're never going to stop.
No, ain't no stopping the greed. But let's get into today's roll call, and we do have a number one here. So I don't know what happened, guys, but it got wiped out this morning. The comments just went to 0. But Nighthawk actually got the W today. So congratulations to you, Nighthawk. Let me bring up the chart here. I think it is your second one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's your second one. Congratulations to you. Your last win was, damn, bro. It was a long time ago.
He didn't even mean, he
114.
wasn't even trying to win today. He got it.
He wasn't. He just got lucky here. Man, that's annoying now with the share screen. You have to like keep messing with it. But yeah, Nighthawk won on January 14th, and then he officially won on March 12th. So congratulations, you got number 2. Yo, the Nighthawk, dude, there's still time. There's still plenty of time for any single one of you guys to win this. We have a Bitcoin frog that is right now is worth 0.013 right now, which is right around like, I want to say $1,000, so $1,100. But they're giving that away. All you got to do is beat out the rest of these guys. Webdro with 12, Danny Boy with 10, PJ and Z with 7. You have another 200 something days ahead of us. Plenty of time to get plenty of wins. So all you got to do is be first. Be the first comment. There is a Reaper though, and the Reaper does come in and delete comments. That is a YouTube thing. Me and Yagobi have no part in that. We wish it didn't happen, but it does, and we got to play by the Reaper's rules. But yeah, shout out to Nighthawk. Mats is in second. Shout out to Mats, Chief Axel, every single day. We appreciate you, my friend. And then Superfan with a GM. Shout out to you, Superfan, man. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about Big Noodle, man. I know you have some type of sale going on next week. Please reach out to us. I would love to make sure we get it on the news. If not, have you on the show as well. So definitely reach out to us. Lackey Lukey's here with his Billy Cat. Shout out to Lackey Lukey. And then Babu. Man, you're here every day, though. I love it, man. Babu Amir says, Mr. Yagobi and Chizzy. What's up, buddies? I love that. Shout out to you, my friend. Nabab is here. Shout out to Nabab. Patty Poo is here. Shout out to Patty Poo. Augustine Gray. Man, it's been a little while, Augustine. It's been a few weeks. Thank you so much for showing up today. S from the Bells community. Shout out to S, man. You're legendary. And then Kevin B. Williams. I do remember you, but it's been a while, Kevin. But thank you for making roll call today. Kevin goes dog on Bitcoin. Buy. He's buying some dog today. Shout out to Kevin. And then we have someone new as well. We have Pastor Ganja is here. Should I be picking up a Node Monkey? Tempting. So we have some news about Node Monkeys later in the show. But what do you think? Yagobi, you grabbing a floor Node Monkey right now?
Super tempting. Super tempting. I mean, it's 95%. This is gonna sound bad, but it's 95%, 94.5% down from its all-time high. But you got to remember, everything pretty much is at this point. And so I'm very, very tempted. Hope I hit big on some things here, and then I'll probably pick up a couple myself.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually tempting to do that myself last week when we were doing great when Odin. I was like, damn, I wish I would have done it. I would have grabbed the Node Monkey at like $3,000-$4,000, but I did not. And then my Odin stuff went back down. But yeah, man. And that is and then Rick G says, long live OnChain Revolution. And the last second, come on, comes in. Shout out to Kamal. Shout out to every single one of you guys who make roll call. God, I know it's hard to pay attention right now. I'm sure you guys maybe don't think so, but I know other people are having trouble paying attention and watching, and our views have been down. But our core audience, man, you guys have been absolutely awesome. And I definitely want to show our appreciation, because without you guys, there is no OnChain Revolution. I don't say that enough, but thank you guys. And if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like and, just sharing it to people, which we're definitely trying to grow faster, which would bring people in to buy your bags. So help us bring retail in to pump your bags. But yeah, shout out to you guys, man. All right. Let's get into our next segment here. We like to call it the on-chain part of it. Why is this so messed up? Hold on. So yeah. All right. So the on-chain part of the show here. I don't know. It says off-chain. I don't know what I'm doing here. Sorry, guys. It's going to bother me if I don't change it. But, all right. So Ethereum L2 Starknet unveils plans to settle on Bitcoin and Ethereum, aiming to unify the two largest blockchains on one single layer. This was really cool. Because I didn't know that they are on Ethereum L2, but they were doing these ZK proofs, and we do know a lot of people were kind of working over there on Starknet that are now in the Bitcoin ecosystem. A few companies, especially I think Beyond was one of them, because they're actually using Layer 0. But what do you think about Starknet potentially being something we talked about yesterday that was possible Polkadot, but Starknet wants to be a Bitcoin L2 and Ethereum L2. What do you think are the advantages of that?
Obviously, it's transaction volume and them making fees. But the big announcement was the cross-chain swaps between Bitcoin and Starknet are live with Xverse swap, right? So Xverse has, they've injected themselves. So Xverse has quietly been doing stuff like this, even though they're probably our biggest wallet, right, in our space right now. And I think this was huge. This is so smart by them, because they are kind of Bitcoin ecosystem maximalist a little bit. They have that max loyalty, stuff like that. But they said, you know what? We don't care about that. We want to really grow this ecosystem. And to do that, we need liquidity flow. And that's 100%. What this is, right? So Starknet, and I'll share my screen so the audience can see the actual post here, because I think this is a big kind of news event here. And you can see, let me pull that down, pull mine up. There we go. Let me zoom in here. But you can see right here, it says cross-chain swaps between Bitcoin and Starknet are live with Xverse Swap. As part of its mission to bring Bitcoin DeFi to the masses, Xverse, one of the Bitcoin's leading wallets, is gradually expanding to Starknet. You can now swap from Bitcoin to Starknet anytime. So this is going to be a big liquidity type of event, at least like channel. Now, how do they get, assets like Runes, Doggo to the Moon, and stuff like that? I'm sure they're already trying to figure stuff out like that. But I think this is exciting.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's really cool. It's really cool to see, people that, they could just go the Ethereum route, right? And just be that, right? But there's a lot of, obviously there's a lot of people there. You have Base, you have all these other chains as well. Now you have Sony there, so you got to be different. And I think by doing this, they are kind of setting themselves out a little bit. So good for them. Good for Starknet. It's all about innovation for sure. So this is a tweet from Look OnChain. This is something that I've seen on my timeline a few times. The Hyper token, Hyperliquid, got like destroyed because of this, but a whale opened up a long position of 175,000 ETH, approximately $335 million, with a 50x leverage today. He actively closed 14,945 ETH, 28 million, leaving 160,000 ETH to be liquidated, making a profit of $1.8 million, causing Hyperliquid provider to lose $4 million in the past 24 hours. So I can't get this from my brain. It's just not working for me. So I don't know what happened, but how do you actively close 175,000 ETH on 50x leverage, right? So he obviously made a lot of money, and then so he made 1.8 million.
No, so he opened he opened that position. He lost money, right? In the end, he lost what, $1.8 million or something.
Yeah.
So there supposedly there was this.
No, he profited 1.8.
He made 1.8. Hyperliquid came out and said that.
Yeah, this is OnChain. So this is OnChain. Hyperliquid is OnChain, right? So you can see everything. So he actively closed a 14,000 ETH, leaving 160,000 ETH to be liquidated. So he got liquidated on part of his thing, but he ended up making $1.8 million, causing Hyperliquid provider to lose 4 million.
Yeah.
And
So here's the follow up here with Hyperliquid's account. Hold that real quick. I'm going to bring this
yeah,
up because this is the tweet that I saw. It said regarding commentary and questions on the address users ETH long. To be clear, there was no protocol exploit or hack. So that's what people were thinking, that there was this loophole to where you could always profit with Hyperliquid. And it says this user had unrealized P&L, withdrew, which lowered their margin and was liquidated. They ended with 1.8 million in P&L. Hyperliquid lost 4 million over the past 24 hours. Hyperliquid all-time P&L remains 60 million. As a reminder, Hyperliquid is not a risk-free strategy. Max leverage will be updated for BTC and ETH to 40x and 25x respectively to increase maintenance margin requirements for larger positions. So I mean, no exploit or hack, but seems like there was a loophole or something, right? To where he made money by getting liquidated. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's
you got to be really smart, and I'm sure he tested this a few times with like smaller money, right? And he was like, "Wow, that worked," and then probably kept doing it and doing it and doing it. So it wasn't a hack, but it was definitely an exploit of some kind. I mean, he profited. I mean, he did use 335 million to make 1.8. So like, the risk was there, like really bad. So he could have lost tons, but I mean, this might have been a really sophisticated trader.
Yeah, it could have been for sure.
So.
And I mean, it has to have been, right? Like there's no other way around that. Like he saw the opportunity, took advantage of it.
Yeah, 100%. So the next thing here is close to 25% of all the Ethereum that exists is deposited in DeFi. Isn't that insane? Like Bitcoin doesn't really have too much DeFi. You are seeing it now kind of get locked. There's a lot of Bitcoin locked on L2s and stuff, but it's only like 2-3% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist, right? 25% of all the Ethereum that exists is deposited in DeFi earning. So, like, what does that tell you? That to me, that's super bullish for Ethereum.
Super bullish for Ethereum and super bullish for Bitcoin if we can get it right. So 25% is a lot of Ethereum because their total supply is huge. But yeah, so it makes sense too. They were the creators of DeFi, really, right? So it makes sense that this much is locked up to that for that purpose. If we can get it right on Bitcoin, this will be huge. But we got to get it right to make people want to lock their Bitcoin up.
Yeah, 100%. I just hope they're making more on their ETH than they're losing in dollar value, right? Because ETH was what, $4,000 not too long ago, 3,900 or something crazy. Now it's 18. So, but yeah. All right, move on to the next thing here. This is a huge announcement from Sony. Sony's public blockchain platform is teaming up with Line Global, one of Asia's largest messaging and digital service platforms, to bring 4 mini apps to the blockchain. And I actually have a tweet here from Sony that kind of breaks it down. Make sure my screen's showing. Here it is. Just get rid of this. So Line mini apps are coming to Sonium. We're bringing the Line mini app on chain, connecting with 200 million active users Line audience. Sonium is accelerating on-chain gaming. The integration enhances Web3 users' experience, which will be onboard users to decentralized applications without compromising on the ease of use. So that's pretty cool. So some of the dApps that are coming is one called Sleep Agachi. Like, I'm guessing it's like an Agachi type of game.
Yeah.
This is one of them here. Another one is called Farm Friends. I guess this is a play off that farming game that everyone was playing in 2020, where you're kind of farming with your friends and stuff like that. The other one is Puffy Match. So these are just they look like mobile games, right? That's the kind of feel they are. And then you got Pocket Mob, a social strategy RPG game. Players engage in mafia style battles. So this is pretty big. Sonium, they're brand new. All right, they just launched maybe like 2-3 months ago at this point, and they're bringing on these dApps, in my opinion, to not only give them a home, because I think they were on Binance Smart Chain, actually, but Sonium is actually a lot cheaper than most chains as well, because they are an ETH L2 and they're using the roll-up technology to get really, really cheap transactions. So Sonium, their first games are now on the chain.
This is huge for both Sonium and Line. For the users that are the audience that's not familiar with Line is sort of like a Telegram, but it's more of a messaging. It's I remember using Line like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's an app on your phone that you're going to use, and people use it for international communication. If you had family in different countries, it's like,
Yeah.
it didn't cost anything. You just had to have data. And so they kind of have this Telegram approach. And so for them, I think it's big for Line, but Sony probably spotted an opportunity with something similar to Telegram and said, "Hey, let's get the user base over to Sonium right away and onboard." So really smart by them, and they have the resources. Sony has like the resources to be able to help develop the stuff,
Yeah.
these games and stuff like that. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I'm going to dig deeper into this and see what kind of opportunities there will be, once this starts to really kick off.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be fun. I definitely want to be a part of Sony blockchain. So being on there early could be, really, really profitable. But we do know they're not going to have a token. That was one thing they came out right away and said we're not having a token whatsoever. But there is Sony stock, and we do know that Coinbase is going to be tokenizing their stock coin. So potentially Sony could tokenize their stock as well, which could be interesting. So, at that point, what's the difference between tokenized stock and the coin, right? So it's going to feel the same. It's going to feel exactly the same. So to get into DeFi with stock, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Crazy time we live in, guys. I do have two things here that not on chain, but I messed up this morning and put them in the wrong place. But Rumble buys 188 Bitcoin worth 17 million. So we are streaming on Rumble right now. If you're watching us through Rumble, we appreciate you guys over there. But they are actively buying. This is their second purchase this year. They're holding right now over $25 million in Bitcoin. Shout out to Rumble, man. These guys are one of the few platforms that are doing this. Sailor is actually on the board now as an advisor, which is crazy. So what do you think about Rumble buying more Bitcoin?
Bullish on it, and they've been positioning themselves for kind of the crypto space for a while. They're looking for content creators that talk about crypto, that talk about gaming. So
Yep.
This is bullish. I'm bullish on this, and I think Rumble's going to have a really bright future.
Yeah, 100%. And the last thing here before we get into Wager Wednesday, U.S. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick's Cantor Fitzgerald launches a Bitcoin-backed lending for institutions. So there really isn't anything like this right now. So the first thing I thought, though, is so Howard Lutnick was on Anthony Pompliano's podcast, and Pomp asked him, like, "Are you buying Bitcoin?" And he said, "I don't have to buy Bitcoin. People give me Bitcoin." And he said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I have a borrowing and lending. And when people can't pay back their Bitcoin-backed loans, I make Bitcoin, and I don't sell that Bitcoin." So he's not buying Bitcoin. When people get liquidated on their loans, he's keeping that Bitcoin. So again, he's a part of the Trump administration, which is nuts. But what do you think about this?
Smart. It
Yeah.
is really smart to set that up, right? Because I mean, unfortunately, people probably are having a harder time now to pay back their loans than, let's say, 12 months ago or whatever. And so he's constantly adding that. And it's like in like a business taking Bitcoin, like, for example, my brother, he accepts Bitcoin gladly because he knows that he can just stack that, right, for his business. And the same situation here, obviously at a larger scale than a typical business. It's a lending and borrowing type of situation, but I mean, you can't lose here, I feel like.
No, you can't lose if you're the house, right? So let's just say you're the house, and like I put my Bitcoin up, it's like sitting at 81,000. I borrow 40,000 against it. Something happens in my life where I'm not able to pay that back, right? And then you basically bought my Bitcoin for 40K. Howard Lutnick, you know what I mean? So yeah, sucks for the people, but that's the game you play when you give up access to your Bitcoin, right? You're depositing it in his bank. So all right. Let's get into today's Wager Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so what that means, every Wednesday we kind of go over one of our partners. That partner is betbtc.win. Guys, go check them out, because again, that's one reason why we have the partners that we have is airdrops, right? Airdrops. And like I think 60-70% of our partners are going to be giving airdrops to the users, and BetBTC is one of them. And it's super simple. Before we kind of get into this 10-minute market thing that is awesome, I want to showcase real quickly, if you're not signed up to betbtc.win, to do it today, because they have a leaderboard here, right? And I want every single one of our community members to be on this leaderboard. PJNZ is number 1. You don't got to be like PJNZ, but if you wanted the most, PJNZ will get the biggest airdrop out of everyone on this list. So shout out to PJNZ. But if you want to compete with them, it's not hard. You can just make, $1,000 $1 bets. Right, and then you'll probably win half of them, get some of your money back or whatever. But he probably made way less than I. Probably made like 100, 200 bets. As you can see, his volume's only $592. He's positive $180 on his bets so far. And then you got my man Webdro in here as well, same thing, $400. And then me, I'm like $1,100 deep, but I'm positive $205. We do have some negatives though. Like for instance, Ethereum Dad, he has $41 in, but he's negative $7. But then you got some other guys here. I Walk Alone, he's in for $31, but he's negative 24. So definitely get on this leaderboard. If you go here and go to the back, it looks like 388 people are signed up. We want to get this number to 1,000. So just go here. You don't have to do anything. You can immediately get 50 points, which immediately will get you the airdrop of this the BetBTC token. It could be a few months before the airdrop, but all you got to do is do this and deposit some money. You'll probably get into the top, probably the top 40 pages. Yeah. So just one deposit will jump all these people and kind of get you guys in there. It's super simple to sign up too. You just kind of go to your account and then go to your wallet. So, and then once you sign up, it's really cool because you can set your name, your image, just like anything else, but then it's really easy to update your balance. You kind of come here, deposit fee is 0.0001. So deposit fee is almost nothing. I think that's around, I want to say maybe $1 or something. Maybe I can't do the Bitcoin math, but it's not much at all. And you'll come here and you'll deposit it in, and all done through your XRS wallet. So yeah, you're using ICP's backend. That is how they're able to be so fast. So that basically just like Odin. Right, it's the same process as how Odin's doing. So you guys are already familiar with that. So deposit into here. This will allow you guys to do stuff in the ICP environment and then withdraw when you're ready, just like you do with Odin. So definitely check this out, guys. ICP seems to be a great layer 2 right now, or at least a great backend. So some of these projects that are building here, and potentially down the line, you might see these guys working with Bob and Odin stuff, but not right now. They're kind of working with just ICP. Bob's using a mimicked version of ICP, but it's his own thing that he's calling Valhalla. But I would love to see BetBTC on Valhalla, but we'll see if that ever comes to fruition there. But definitely, guys, get on here and check this out. Now, let's dig deep into the 10-minute markets. So right now they're going through adjustment. These guys are building. These are building. So just give them time. Everything is brand new to them, especially these 10-minute markets. It just started, and it's looking like I lost my bet earlier, Yagabi. Oh no. Oh, you know what, dude? It's still not updated. This is it was like 10 hours. Okay, so it's still on the 24 markets. It doesn't look like this has been updated yet. That is my fault, but it's going to be coming to where it is the 10-minute markets. So basically, you come here, you look at that price, 81,000. You can choose up or down. For instance, let's just go down here. And let's put $10 in, slide it to the right. Not only am I earning the airdrop because I'm getting points, but I'm also potentially winning this bet here, or this prediction that I think Bitcoin is going to be lower than 81,000 tomorrow, right? But eventually, it's going to be 10 minutes. You're going to see these things just flying by. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And it's really the only place you're going to be able to do that. And I love it too, because it's like, I can just make quick money, right? Like I can just go in, put $10 bet and either make it or lose it. But I think I'm going to get it. I think I'm going to win, guys. I'm going to win. But shout out to betbtc.win.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting once, that's I think people are going to use that a lot, because 10 minutes, you don't have to wait forever. That's the biggest, advantage part of that. And, you don't have to just do Bitcoin. You can pick, right? Yeah. You can pick from Bitcoin, Binance, BNB, Solana, and I'm sure there's going to be other 10-minute markets as well. So, exciting stuff for those guys. And the biggest part that you mentioned earlier was, are they going to be a part of this whole kind of BeLife ecosystem and Valhalla stuff? Because I do think those guys from BeLife are really starting to create and grow this ecosystem that they started. So
yeah, 100%. All right. Do you have anything else on BetBTC?
No, that's pretty much it. Their latest updates were the 10-minute markets that is going to be available very, very soon. So
yeah. Yep. All right, guys. That is everything from those guys. We do have more to kind of get into. We're going to get into the Bitcoin ecosystem news. And the first big thing is Odin Fund is down again this morning. It's back up now. It is running. but major fixes are urgently needed. What do you think so far of, when you're trying, it is frustrating when you go on there and there was a new coin launch today. It was like Binance Dog or something, and it pumped and dumped. But what do you think about it seems like it's every day now with these issues from Odin Fund.
I think it's growing pains, right? They're
Yeah.
going through a process of you know, getting higher demand, higher traffic, and that puts pressure on your servers, right? And then you have to make sure when you're fixing it, you got to make sure that there's no issue with balances and all these different things. And so I think that's what they're going through. They're just going through a growing pain process right now. And I think they'll get through it. And right now it's back up. It's really fast again. But yeah, it is a bit disappointing. It kind of stalls momentum a bit, but
Yeah.
but it's the beginning times, right? So they just launched
Yeah.
this like a month and a half, 2 months ago. So
Yeah. Wasn't long. Wasn't long at all. For sure. For sure. All right. So there was a tweet from these guys. They came out and they said, of course I can't find it. Where are you, Odin? All right, let me just go to their site real quick. So they did have a tweet today basically saying that the issues they are having, and it says Odin Fund is down, slow /slow right now. Apologies for the downtime. Working on getting it back up ASAP. One of our top priorities is for the platform to work smoothly at all times. So they did come out. This was like an hour or two after we are already experiencing these issues. What do you think? Is there anything you think they could do to kind of get this up and running? Maybe they have to expand servers.
yeah, probably increase server support, but we don't
Yeah.
know if that's exactly what the issue is. I mean, that's the assumption, right? Because whenever
Yeah.
you do have a higher demand, that typically is what's going on. But this is I think they're going to have to really gauge what the demand is and start to adjust a little quicker in terms of server
Yeah.
support. If there's any other issues in the back end, though, we don't know what those are, right? So that
Yeah.
could be something else. You have to remember, this is like innovative tech approach, right? It's not just ICP's tech stack. It's a fork of it, a customized fork of it, or whatever they, are using back there. And so there's going to be, ups and downs with it, and especially in the beginning. I think we got to expect that a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. I got to be thankful for Bob to even build something like this, though, right? So really, really cool and
Exactly.
fun. But all right, let's get into the next thing here. The Bitcoin Taproot Wizards. They said it's time. Basically, they said today we're announcing the Taproot Wizard Mint. So the Taproot Wizards, they are the same guys. That's Udi, that's Eric Wall, the same guys who put out the Quantum Cats. So now they have two separate projects. I guess they always did because the Wizards were first, but they were a very small collection. But now you can see that they are actually trying to suck out more liquidity from the markets here, because it's going to cost you 0.2 to get one of these. There it is right here. Here's a tweet. So it said 2 years ago, 2,121 Taproot Wizards brought magic back to Bitcoin, and on March 25th, one of them could be yours. So I'm guessing these are already inscribed. I don't understand that tweet there, but it is going to. So these are the Taproot Wizards. They're giving more away. The Wizards burst into Bitcoin chain in February 2023 and was a 4 mega block in Bitcoin's history. All right. In the last 2 years, tens of thousands of people participated in Wizard's Quest, like taking a shower on a video, but the low supply means not everyone will be able to get one, and not everyone will be able to afford one. So the mint price is 0.2, which right now is around $15,000. What do you think about this? Holders of a pair of dead live quantum cats can get a discount for 0.1. So if you have a live cat and a dead cat, you can get one of these wizards for 0.1. What do you think about these wizards? Do you think these actually will sell out?
The Wizards, well, they're
Yeah.
going to, because they're going to make it look like it was organic. If they have money, right? So if you're going to do something like this, you better be damn well sure that you're going to sell out or mint out, and they will. in my opinion, right? Whether they have to dip into this $30 million that they just raised or whatever, they're going to do it. I mean, it's going back to them anyways, right? In the sense of like they own the wizard and all that stuff. So that's where, you know, raising money and having that kind of capital behind you is good. It's actually, as much as this is probably going to be manipulated, you know, it's actually probably good for ordinals, because it's going to make ordinals look like the demand is there.
Yeah. It's going to make ordinals great again, do you think? Do you think we could
Maybe
see an explosion going into this?
No, I don't think we see an explosion until the overall like sentiment's better.
Well,
You
what
know,
about,
but-
do you think we see node monkeys, quantum cats, and things kind of selling off potentially for people to afford these?
Maybe, but they're gonna have to go for pretty cheap, because even those right now, like, you know, people are gonna have to like figure out how they can like move things around to get them, right? I mean, $3,300 is not like nothing, right? Even though compared to what the floor was last year, obviously it's 95% down, but still, like in the current climate, you know, people are gonna have to try to like, you know, scrounge up like the liquidity for it, and it's not going to be easy. So I think more than anything, it's going to be, you know, the people that have liquidity or maybe able to sell down some of their other assets to get in, and then the rest, the team's going to just purchase up.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see what happens. So you have to entangle your cats by March 19th at 5 p.m. And then claim your whitelist spot, and then coming soon will be the public auction. So we will see. It says public auction. What do you think that's about? What do you think? Why put the word auction?
Maybe Dutch auction? I don't know what they're doing with that.
Yup. But it does seem like if you do have a quantum cat or a wizard, that you will be eligible for the whitelist to get one of these. So yeah, I really hope it does bring a spark back to ordinals, for sure. I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't know. All right, so speaking of ordinals, though, we have a couple of things here. The node monkeys. We had a question earlier about the node monkeys. You know, do you think they're a really good buy right now? I mean, their inscription numbers are absolutely amazing, being sub 100K. With most of them being sub 100K. But a 2-trait alien node monkey just sold for 0.8, $65,000. So we did see a flux of these node monkeys kind of getting bought up. So this is the tweet from where I got this from. So this guy right here was sold for 0.8 of a Bitcoin, which is around, what's that, 70K?
Yeah,
65K. So yeah, 64. I think it's $65,000 for that guy right there. But then you know, Farmer Joe posted yesterday. He said, "How did I miss this? 2 alien node monkeys sold for 1.2 Bitcoin, 0.6 each." So you sold them selling for about 0.6. People are buying up these node monkeys cheap right now. The alien node monkeys cheap right now. You can see right here, like 373 days ago was the last purchase of an alien, and then until yesterday we see 3 in a matter of 24 hours. What do you think? Are people getting really bullish on these aliens?
Well, you have to think about it, right? So if people are anticipating a strong Q4 for the entire crypto market, right, and ordinals and the Bitcoin ecosystem makes a bounce back, you know, the sales for some of these were insane. You're talking about 10 Bitcoin, 9 Bitcoin, 9 Bitcoin. And during that time, you know, so 300, almost a year, a little bit more than a year ago, you're talking about February. Oh man, like if you could get half of that, you know, if you could get like 4 or 5 Bitcoin in Q4, this is a huge come up, you know? So I think they're looking at it like that, right? So yeah, it's so crazy what they sold for last year, though. You're talking like 400K, you know, 300 to 600K, I think it was, or something like that, you know, the range. And right now you get them for a little over half a Bitcoin, which it makes sense relative to the floor of the node monks anyways, right? So you're going now for probably like 50,000, 47,000 around there for a node monk right now. But, you know, it was almost 10x a year ago.
Yeah, I agree. So let me ask you a question. If I gave you the option, we'll give you a CryptoPunk or an alien node monkey right now at the prices that they're at right now. You were forced to buy one or the other. Would you take a CryptoPunk, which is the first NFT, right? I mean, people really say that I mean, there was crypto kitties and stuff, but like I guess the first 10K collection ever, right? The most sought after collection. If you tell someone you have a CryptoPunk, they're gonna look at you like you're a very wealthy man. Or a Node Monkey, which is definitely a bet on ordinals and Bitcoin. Which one would you take?
Oh, so you're going from like the most rare of node monks to a floor of crypto punks, which
Yeah.
crypto punks are still higher at the floor price at 72,000 right now. And I think what's 0.6 right now of 80 was it 82,000? Let's just say 82,000. You're looking at about 50K. So I do think the upside on the alien node monks will be better, but that's if like the entire environment is good, right? Because no one's gonna spend $500,000 on a node monk unless there's like a lot of people making a lot of money. The CryptoPunks floor at 72 right now, even in a good environment, the floor, I don't know, maybe like 300K or something, 200 to 400K. So it's tough because like you got to find the right buyer for the alien node monk too. As opposed to be able to flip the CryptoPunk. So if I'm just looking to flip quick, I'd probably take the CryptoPunk. Honestly.
But if long term?
Long term, I'd probably hold on to the node monk. I'd get the node monk.
Yeah, man. I would too. I would probably grab the No Monkey Alien as well. I think I was thinking about this morning, and I was like, well, once we saw this from Farmer Joe, and I would probably take an Alien No Monkey just because it's rare, right? And potentially, I think Bitcoin Ordinal is going to be very solid after one day. So definitely bullish on them. But one thing I want to ask you too that I just forgot, but Sats Flow. Seems to be getting a lot more value, especially with these rare ones, than Magic Eden. How do you feel about that? Satsflow, it's something we haven't really explored.
I think they're aggregator. I think they're an aggregator.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that makes sense if they are.
Yeah, I could be wrong with that. Let me actually check, but yeah, Satsflow, I believe, is the one that had the backing of
Is that Coinbase, right?
Coinbase Ventures, I think.
Yeah,
and it's just Satflow singular. So it's a pro trading marketplace for Bitcoin ordinals. Okay, so it's not a aggregator. I think it's just more of a
marketplace.
Like they have tools and stuff like that. So
okay, so very similar to Ordinal Hive then.
A little bit, yeah. It's what it seems like for sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into our last thing here. Leonidas. This is a weird tweet from him. One thing I don't like about the dog holders is like they're always like everyone's against us. Like, no, everyone's against Bitcoin layer one assets, right? Because it's the maxis. They're not anything to do with dog. And I feel like the dog community is always just like woe is me, kind of Eeyore, their head in the sand type of thing. You know what I mean? That gets annoying to me, especially with the tweet from Leonidas. After over 6 months of being on the coin market ranking blacklist, Dog now has its rightful ranking. So this happens to all new coins. Market like Fluid still doesn't have, like FLDT still doesn't have a ranking, right? Especially on CoinGecko anyway.
But you have to think about, like, the market cap of Dog got to almost $1 billion.
Yes, but it's just
and there was and it's the most it's the most like talked about meme coin on X.
But it takes a while. Like no new coins get immediately put on there, right?
I mean, I remember Dog with Hat seemed to be on there pretty quick. The ones that were like
on there
on Solana.
So yeah, they're on there, but they don't show up in the rankings, right? And I think that's what he's saying here. And like they're on there 100%, but like, and if you do the math, you can figure out where they're sitting, which I think they were doing. But like, I don't understand this at all. I don't really like that from dog holders. Like, it's not you guys in general. It's tokens on Bitcoin, period. Right?
Yeah, but I think they're expressing their frustration about like how tokens on Bitcoin in general get treated. And I mean, like Dog with Hat's in the order that it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it took for that, but like like whenever the main centralized exchanges list, so Coin Market Cap has a relationship with Binance, right? There's some sort of relationship.
Owned by Binance.
Okay, so maybe that's part of it. Binance kind of has ignored runes, right, a lot, and so
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't look at it the same way. I actually think that they're speaking up for like almost like all Bitcoin layer one assets, and for them to be that
Yeah.
loud and stuff, they are. I mean, we got to admit that they're intentionally being ignored in some aspects. I feel like.
I don't see Ordi on here either, though. You know,
Well, what is
like
it? What is it ranked?
it should be
Already
around
is
dog
183. So if
183.
you go to
So it is
yeah, if
on
you
there.
go to one,
Okay.
well, yeah, I mean, if you go to it and then search it, and let's see, 183. Yep, it's there, right behind
Okay.
AI 16Z. Eliza.
Oh wow. Yeah, it is. And what number is dog? 102.
I thought it was
Oh no,
108.
dog's ripped right now, right? 108.
189.
That's still
Ooh,
pretty good. 189 for
189.
dog.
Yeah, 189.
So dog's behind Ordi. Yeah.
Yep, it's behind
Ordi's
already.
183, dog's 189. Yeah, man.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think that is our show for today. We really appreciate all 156 people in here right now, but that's not including everyone on Spotify, everyone on Rumble, and everyone watching later as well. So appreciate all you guys for tuning in and watching us. We know it's hard. We know it's hard right now, guys, but it pays to pay attention. I'm always going to say that. Being here, knowing the news, if you're at work and you got an earpiece in, man, keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, earn that fiat, and then DCA in. You guys will make it. I promise you. The market's not down forever, and we do truly feel like it's going to get bullish. This year, y'all gonna be saying Q4. I'm just not giving a prediction. I still think we're gonna hit 700K this cycle. I just think this cycle is very right translated, which means it's an extended cycle that leads potentially into the summer of 2026. So, guys, this is a long-term game. If you want to gamble, if you want to, you're probably not going to win. But if you're here for the long term and you're DCAing in to assets like Bitcoin, then you're going to win. You're going to win for sure. So,
yeah, I agree with that sentiment, and it's the perfect timing for you guys to kind of get locked in with learning and researching as much as possible. There's definitely stuff to research. New stuff like the Jam. I guess like was it Jam protocol or Jam approach that Polkadot's taking
it's the Jam upgrade, Polkadot Jam upgrade.
Jam upgrade. You have the Tau ecosystem. You got Bitcoin ecosystem that's developing new stuff too. So there's plenty of stuff for you guys to dive into, and we're going to try to bring that to you guys every day, Monday through Friday. And we appreciate you guys. And if you could check out our partners, we'd greatly appreciate it as well. Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool for the Bitcoin Layer 1 asset class, more specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your node monks, your puppets, your frogs from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin, Bitcoin Layer 2 to Abstract to Base Chain, Arbitrum, some EVM chains initially, and eventually Solana and stuff. So they're going to be branded everywhere. Emblem is. You're going to also be able to utilize their AI Bitcoin wallet agent Hustle to be able to do the vaulting for you, so you don't have to actually manually click everywhere. Also, he's going to be able to make some Bitcoin native trades for you as well if you prompt him to do so as well. And they have their future TGE in September of this year for their rune that's going to be unlocked, as you can actually trade it in a pre-sale environment on OpenSea right now as an ERC 721. But during that TGE event, you're going to be able to, that 721 is going to go away, and then it's going to turn into runes that you're going to be able to have in your Bitcoin wallet. You can learn about all this at emblem.vision. And the BetBTC is the predictions marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet and some Bitcoin and 6 blocks, and you can start placing bets in their markets right away. We went over their 10-minute markets. That's going to be available very soon to you guys. You can place a bet on Bitcoin, BNB, Solana going up or down with a 10-minute result. And so that's super, super exciting, as well as their create your own markets and bet with friends, which we're going to be able to talk about very, very soon in terms of when that's going to be available. So you can learn about all this at betbtc.win. And Artura Finance, the perps and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem, they're going to allow you to be able to trade synthetic fungible Bitcoin tokens like Ordi and Dogger to the Moon that we just went over on CoinMarketCap, but also other tokens outside of the ecosystem like Trump token or Pepe token or XRP. They're going to have the most popular ones on their platform. Also, you can utilize their testnet right now before they launch on their mainnet on Hemi Chain, and you can make one trade and get entered into a raffle to earn some of their TGE once that is available to everybody. You can learn more at artura.finance. And Fluid Tokens, they were the first to introduce staking vaults on Bitcoin Layer 1 using Bitcoin block time lock technology for you guys to be able to stake your assets. And then once that block arrives, you are able to unstake and receive your original staked assets plus the reward in one transaction. They've had the Doggo to the Moon staking vaults as well as $1 billion cat staking vaults, and they're going to have more in the future as well. They're also building the interoperability tooling between Bitcoin and Cardano with Aquarium. So look out for that. You can learn more about all this at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder on Bitcoin Layer 1 and you want your protocol to be a bit more quick, seamless, and fast, then you can reach out to their team and apply for a Merlin Chain Builders Grant. A couple of our partners got into that program, so it's definitely possible. You just got to apply and be ready to build. Also, you can stake right now Merlin Chain token to secure the chain with their proof of stake protocol on merlinchain.io and earn 15% APR. And they're going to add Bitcoin to that as well. So that's going to be super exciting too. And so you can learn about all this at merlinchain.io. And don't forget about our integrated partners in Foxy AI building the Bitverse on Bitcoin, which is a metaverse, as well as their first-person shooter game called Clan Wars, which we are going to start live streaming again next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And Ordinal Hive, the aggregator Ordinal marketplace. You're going to be able to find the cheapest Ordinals around on Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2 on Ordinal Hive. And we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners for us.
Yep. Great job, man. And as always, if you guys wouldn't mind just taking a few minutes to check out OnChainRevolution.io. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN, in my opinion, that is Nord. We actually have a 70% off coupon if you're interested. You can go get a free one, but they're not as good as Nord. I use Nord every single day on my phone and computer with one account. So I paid about $3 a month for it. You really shouldn't be going to these websites, guys, with your IP hanging out. You don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. It's not a good look. Because that by them getting your IP, they can eventually get your address, right? And if you go to potentially a site where maybe you shouldn't be, they can get your name, your address, and stuff like that. So you use a VPN, guys, and get one right now. Use Nord. Use our link here. Don't pay full price either. Pay the $3. And then if you guys know, a Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, guys, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But do not wait to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible. I don't want to see you guys paying $2,000 for these industry passes and like $1,500 for these festival passes, guys. Get them as soon as possible now. Like it's like $1,500 for an industry now. If you guys would have got them months ago, they were a lot cheaper, but it's no better time than now, right? You get the price that you deserve in this case as well, but do not wait till May. It's going to get so expensive, but you're going to want to go. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And if you're a builder in the space, the connections you're going to make at this event could be life-changing. So definitely check out Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas and get the tickets through us. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, we have some of the best merch in all of crypto. Check out our store right here, and that'll actually take you to our site, and you guys can get, pretty much anything you want. And if you want us to add something, we will definitely add something for you. Check everything here out at the OnChainRevolution.io. And guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough, no. You're not bullish enough, no. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed, gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.